Hello everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Shea and thank you so much for watching this video. Today this video is all about how I take photos and create content for my blog and my Instagram. I had this idea because today was going to be my day where I work on all that stuff, so I decided that I would take you guys along with me because in case any of you are wanting to start a blog or you are content creators, you can kind of see how I take my photos, how I edit them, and my whole workflow, and I thought that it would be very helpful to everyone. I am just going to give a rundown of what we're going to do. First off, I want to go over branding and my branding guidelines template that I created and kind of walk you through it so that way you can see what my process is and what goes into creating my type of brand. And then we're going to actually get into taking the photos. So I want to go over flat lays, selfies or self-portraits, quote cards, so how I create those because I think those are really good to put in your feed as well, but more on that later. And then some Instagram story ideas because I know that's getting really big and you can find a lot of really good designs and inspiration on so many different platforms. So we're going to go over all of that kind of stuff, how I take those photos, how I create content and batch content, all that fun stuff. And along the way, I will give you some of my own tips and tricks of how I create my content, what inspires me, where I take my photos, all that kind of stuff. It's very fun and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So before we get into the rest of the video, I just wanted to go over my branding guidelines that I created. I'm currently working on starting my own Instagram for my blog and just kind of my online YouTube presence. So I just created a branding guidelines template in Canva, and Canva has a ton of them. I will link them down below so you can see what options you have. There are a ton of templates, but this one I chose because it worked really well with my branding idea, and it was really easy to customize as well. So first off, I started with basically an about me page, and you just want to kind of describe your mission or your vision or a little bit of both, kind of what is your goal with your brand, what do you hope to bring to people, and this is just an overall statement, so maybe just 1 to 2 sentences, nothing too crazy. The next page is a little bit of a deeper dive into your brand narrative. So the template actually came with these topics, so brand promise, customer experience, and the reason why. So I just went with that. Again, you can definitely customize to what you need. So I just kind of filled in what my brand promise is to the viewers, what I want people to experience when they watch my videos or go to my blog, and the reason why I created it and why I think it's important. And then we're going to launch into my visual elements and inspiration. So first off, my brand imagery. I have always wanted to create an Instagram that has a very clear and uniform aesthetic. So I really like these browns, these whites, these neutral tones. You can obviously create a Lightroom preset or other filters that you can just put over all of your pictures so that way they look very cohesive. So I just kind of detailed a little bit more about that, saying, I want warm color scheme, browns, golds, whites, earthy colors, and a very vintagey feel. Then I get more into content, so what kind of content do I actually want to be posting on my Instagram? I decided I would have a mix of flat lays, which I will show you how I take those, maybe some landscapes if they fit, a few self-portraits, and then quote cards to break up my feed. I will show you later how I make those quote cards, and those are actually included later on in this presentation. Then I also wanted to go into stories because I feel like Instagram stories are very big right now and people are becoming super creative with them. So I just wanted to add this slide in just so I could make a note about how I do want to be creative with Instagram stories and not just post a picture without anything on it. So I like these ideas. These are not mine, but I found them on the internet. There are plenty of ideas on Pinterest and actually TikTok. A lot of people show you how to make really cool Instagram stories, so that's definitely something I want to incorporate into my own brand. So these are the quote cards I was talking about. I just created these in Canva, just a 1x1 square, and I just kind of grabbed some inspirational quotes off the internet. I also wanted to show you how I'm going to do a little bit of different color schemes, so the quote cards won't look exactly the same. On the next slide, you'll see that I also have a different idea or different style with the highlighted text. So I kind of like these, but I just wanted to give myself different options. So I highly recommend if you do want to do quote cards, you give yourself a few different design options. And I might just post all of these different designs because they still work. They still have a nice cohesive look to them, and I think that they would work well. Okay, so this is pretty cool. On Canva, you can find these little templates that look like phones, and what you can do is you can just place an image inside of them, and the images like just kind of pop in there, so it looks like it's on a phone. I just think that's really cool. So that's what I ended up doing on Canva. What I want you guys to do is, if you are creating an Instagram, definitely find like 5 to 10 maybe other pages or Instagram accounts that really inspire you, whether it's the colors or the types of photos. You can see that a lot of these have a cool color scheme to them, and I definitely have a lot more, but I just put 3 up on here for different inspiration. Obviously you don't want to copy people, but just having inspiration to look to and to kind of get a better feel, especially if you're lost about what kind of feed you want to create, I think it's great to have a bunch of different ideas so that way you can better create some cool content that is unique to you and your own brand. So after I went through all my visual ideas, I wanted to get more into the strategy and what I needed to do before I actually launched my Instagram. So first off, I listed out everything that I wanted to have before I even started my Instagram. So I wanted to have 10 quote cards done, 10 flat lays, and 10 selfies, with the idea being that I would have about 30 photos, so it would be a month or about a month in advance, so that way I can be posting once a day and have different options of whether I wanted to do a self-portrait that day or a flat lay or a quote card. But I just wanted to make sure that I was planning ahead for sure. As much as I want to just jump into this account, I want to make sure that I don't post a ton in the beginning and then not have anything to post later. So I just wanted to make sure that I was super prepared. After that, I just wanted to reiterate that I'm going to post once per day, which is why it's so important to have things planned ahead. And I also noted that again at the bottom. So really I just want to be ahead of the game, always having posts in advance and never having to scramble to take a post the day before or a day of. But with that being said, if I go somewhere or I take a cool photo that works for my feed, I can post it that day or save it for later. I'm not, restricting myself in that way, but I just think it's really important with my busy schedule to be able to plan ahead. And then this is my last slide. I grabbed some photos from my own Instagrams, whether it was my photography one or my personal one, that kind of fit the brown vintage vibe feel that I'm going for, as well as I put in the quote cards, as you can see, and a few of the other photos I grabbed off of the internet. I put these into an app called Preview, which you can download on the App Store, and it lets you just look at your feed and you can move around the pictures and the tiles, so it's pretty cool because that way you can kind of see if you post, what you post, how it will look on your actual feed, and then you can see the color swatches on the left that I chose just to have an idea of what kind of colors are in the photos that I want to post, so I can match them up. If I want to post a photo, I can match it up to the color swatches just to make sure that they go along with my style. So that was just a quick rundown of my guidelines. I will link it down below. I'll link down a PDF version below so you can look through it again. Like I said, there are plenty of templates on Canva already, and I just had to delete some slides that didn't apply to me. Like, I'm not a big corporation or a business, so some of the slides didn't actually apply to my brand, but you can change the text and the colors and stuff like that. But I definitely recommend doing this just so you're planning ahead and you have a solid idea and grasp of what your brand is and what you want your brand to be for your audience. So to start, I want to go over some selfie ideas. We're just going to start pretty simple, just in my own room. Luckily, I have pretty light colored walls, so that works well if I just want to take a pretty basic photo in front of a white wall. I can always Photoshop it later and make it white or make it any other color I want. So using blank walls is a really good idea if you have any in your home or you see a cool colored wall outside. 10 out of 10, recommend that. I just want to show you real quick right here. I was kind of inspired because I have this gold paper, this gold poster board that I had bought for another photo shoot, and I saw the light coming through this window here, and I thought, okay, well, I can bounce that kind of golden light off onto the wall so I could sit right there and take some portraits right there. There's also a white side to this poster board, so I can always turn it around and bounce just like white light off of it, so I can show you real quick. So that way, see, it just makes it really bright. So if I want like more of a bright white light, or else it's kind of shaded. So I can do that to make it really bright. Try some with the gold too, because that's just fun, and I could get some interesting light if I like shift it around. So I will do some of that, and I will show you how I take those photos. Why am I? For right now, I'm just trying to keep everything simple and trying to take all my pictures in my room, because it's definitely possible, and I don't want you to think that if you want to take photos for your content that it has to be anything like too crazy, or you have to go somewhere. I mean, obviously it's good to mix that up, but for now it's definitely fine to just like take pictures in your room. Okay, so I have my camera set up right here, and I'm just gonna take some pictures. I use my phone as my remote to connect to my camera, so I can take self-portraits without using a timer. Like I showed you, the gold set up right here, creating this cool gold light so I can get some cool photos. And I will try to get some pictures of me actually taking the photos, but like I said, I need to use my phone and my camera at the same time, so I will show you the finished photos after I get these done. Finished taking some of those portraits. I think I definitely got some that I can work with. It was kind of hard because it's really cloudy outside, so the light kept changing and I was losing sunlight. Like right now, it's very dark in here, so it was pretty frustrating, and I was like, whatever, I definitely have some that I can work with. So that happens sometimes. It's kind of frustrating, but I'm just gonna move on. I definitely got plenty that I can work with to get at least a few good photos. And now I want to move on to flat lays. Okay, so here's my setup for my flat lay. Usually what I do is I set everything out that I might want to use. So I know I'm going to do a blog post on my crystals and meditation and stuff like that. So that is what this is all for. So I grabbed some of those. I have a little succulent that makes, you know, adds a little extra. And then I have maybe this plant and then this little message board. These are really good to get. I got this from, I think, like TJ Maxx for like $9 or something. So they're really not too expensive, but they're good to add, again, a little extra element to your picture. This is a fluffy white rug or like seat cover thing that I got from Target. It was also just like $10 or $11, so really not too expensive, and it makes pretty good pictures. Sorry, again, the lighting is really weird. It just got really bright, and now it's getting cloudy again. So anyways, I'm going to try to work with that. I think I'm going to try to take the pictures on my phone and see how they come out, and if not, I will take some on my camera. But for right now, I'm just going to start arranging the things and see what looks good.
City Blackwell area, 68 degrees today. Winds southerly at about...
Okay, so I just finished shooting the flat lays. As you can see, my room is extremely messy. So that's the one downside of this, is that your space gets totally messed up because you're like grabbing things off shelves. Like when I was taking these pictures, I was like, oh, that will look good, and then everything gets messed up. So that's fun. But definitely think I got some good shots, and I will edit them and see how they turn out. Okay, so let's say I want to make a story out of this picture. This is not actually my photo, just so you guys know, but I just got it off a free stock website just so I can show you a little bit about what I do. So first off, I usually like to look at the stickers that are available. I personally really like this If you search this, you get some really cool options, and I really like this one because it has all of the days written out. So today's Sunday, and I'd probably grab that and then just kind of play around with the placement. I usually like to do days like in the corners somewhere. So that's cute. So yeah, I usually like to put my stickers first, and I probably won't do more than 2 or 3 stickers because it can kind of get a little bit distracting if you have so many things all over the screen. And then I like to add a little text, so I'll just show you quickly some of the ideas.
The front was way off in the northwest. Now, however, it's moving into the central part of the nation with a couple of high-pressure cells behind it.
You can also just play around with, this has a pretty busy background, but if you want to just do random little sparkly dots or something like that around letters is fun. So really it's just all about being creative. I can show you some other stickers that I like. Gladys has some cute things, like these are really adorable. Currently I use that, so if you are like reading something or writing something, currently is fun to put in the top corner. Little good morning, my morning, all really cute. You can also just search, I think boho is one. Yeah, and these just have cute little designs, flowers, stars. Keep looking on Pinterest as well, and TikTok definitely has a bunch of ideas, so just get creative. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Sorry again that the lighting was all over the place, but I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse into what I do on the weekends to get stuff done for my blog and Instagram and stuff like that. If you have never been on my channel before, I do have a full-time job throughout the week, so Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends is when I work on all my blog, YouTube, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, this does take a lot of time. It's a big time commitment. It's taken me probably most of the afternoon to set up, take the photos, and edit them. So, it takes a lot of time. If you're really passionate about it, you will always make time and be motivated to keep going and keep pushing and build your brand. Make sure to check out my blog. I will link that down below, as well as my Instagram, all the other stuff and ways for you to connect with me. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will happily answer them for you. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!